Hi guys. In the previous lesson, you remember I told you that I would wish to see you guys again in class. Now you see I've been truthful to my words. Here we are again. So today we want to continue with our favorite lesson in linear equation. We are still on linear equations. We are not done. So today we want to continue with the last subtopic in linear equations. So in the previous lesson, what did we study? We learned how to solve linear equations involving brackets. I hope you remember. I know you remember. Now in today's lesson, we want to study something about linear equations involving word problems. Word problems. Does that confuse you? No, it shouldn't confuse you because this is something that can be very easy. Sometimes you can be given a question not in the mathematical expression form. For example, 2x plus 3 equals 5. No. Sometimes they are given to you in a story form or in a word problem form. Now the question is, how can you solve a question or a linear equation that comes in a word problem form? And that is the focus of today's lesson. So just follow me. Now, story problem or word problem, how is that done? It's simple. Your focus as a student should be on two major things. The first is you need to know how to extract mathematical expressions from the word problem or the sentences you'll be given. I'll repeat that again. The first thing or the most important thing for you to do is to extract mathematical expressions from the word problem you've been given. Linear equations mostly are given in the mathematical expression form, but in this particular one, you'll be given a word problem form, sentences. So the question is, how do you get the mathematical expression before you can solve? So that is how, or that is the first thing you're supposed to do, to extract the mathematical expression. Then after that, you will be able to solve using the previous steps that we've learned in this lesson. So now let's look at how we can extract mathematical expressions from word problems. So let's see, or let's take a look at one example on the board. Now, 5 more than a number, that's the example we have on the board. And you ask yourself, 5 more than a number, how do I multiply? How do I work something like this? I know you've been asking yourself that. So just relax. I'm here to guide you. So now, take your time. Listen, it says 5, 5. So just write 5. Let's start with that. So 5. So that's one mathematical expression. And then you look at the board again, and then it says more. And you have to think more. And more can mean to add, right? Or addition. To add. So then what do? You write that as well. Plus. So you see that we are getting the mathematical expressions gradually. Then the next one is than a number. A number. Do you know that number? I don't know. You also don't know. So what do we do? You just represent that number with a variable. And which variable would you want to represent the number with? I would prefer to use x. So in this class, let's just use x and let's write it on a board. So x. So now you've seen that just the short or the simple sentence that we have on the board, we've been able to extract a mathematical expression from it. That is 5 plus x. Then remember, it says 5 more than a number. That's what the question is saying. The question didn't say that a number more than 5. The question said 5 more than a number. So the one that we have on the board, 5 plus x, is saying, or what it's trying to say, it is 5 more than a number. But the question itself says 5 more than a number. So that's what we are supposed to express. So we are going to have x plus 5, and that's going to be perfect with the question on the board. So x plus 5 means that 5 is more than x, which is the number we are talking about. So the correct mathematical expression for the sentence we have on the board should actually be x plus 5, because the question said 5 is more than the number. So that is how to extract a mathematical expression from a sentence or from a word problem. So if you're able to get the mathematical expression, then it is very simple to solve using the 3 steps that we've been able to study in the previous lessons. And you remember again that we said you would extract what? You would extract a mathematical expression from the story or from the sentences you've been given. So imagine another expression or another sentence has been given to you. Maybe 2 less than a number. You know, less than can represent subtraction. So you see, that is how to go about this. That is how to extract mathematical expressions from word problems. So let's take a look at a major example and see how we'll be able to deal with such questions. Now we have our question on the board. It says, when a number is subtracted from 10, the result is multiplied by 2. And the final answer is 4. Find the number. Again, the question again. When a certain number is subtracted from 10, the result is multiplied by 2. The final answer is 4. Find the number. Now, you've been given a host of sentences, right? So the question is, how do you work on something like this? Now, you remember that in this class we said the first thing to do is to extract mathematical expressions from the problem you've been given. So now I want you to think, which expressions can I extract mathematical expression from, or which sentences can I extract mathematical expressions from? Now remember that the question says when a certain number. So the question you should be asking yourself is, do you know the number? No. So what do you do? So what do you do? Yes, that's good. You represent the number with a letter. You don't know, so you represent it with a letter. For example, X. Then again, you look at the question and it says that number, which is X now, is subtracted from 10. So what would the answer be? Or how do you express this in the mathematical form? So the number is subtracted from 10. And now you know the number is X. So the number, which is X, is subtracted from 10. How do you write that mathematically? This means that 10 is on one side and then we subtract X from it, right? That is the right way to write it. So the expression or the mathematical expression for this simple sentence is going to be 10 minus X. Now, we focus on the other sentences. It goes on to say the result, which means the answer, is multiplied by 2. This means that 10 minus X will be in one bracket and then multiplied by 2 because their result is the one that is going to be multiplied by 2. So because of the multiplication, we'll bring the brackets and then we'll bring 2 outside since it is multiplying the result of 10 minus X. So we will express it as 2 open bracket 10 minus X close bracket. So little by little, we are extracting the mathematical expression. So let's continue. And it continues saying the final answer is 4. This means that the expression 2 open bracket 10 minus X close bracket, all of it is going to be equal to what? 4. So we bring an equal to sign, then we bring 4 to the other side because the question is saying the final answer, which is 2 multiplying the bracket 10 minus X, all of it, its final answer is 4. So it's going to be equal to 4. And that is what has been expressed on the board. So now you see that we can extract a full linear equation expression from a word problem. So when you are able to extract the mathematical expression, then the rest is easy. We just follow the steps that we've been talking about in our previous lessons. Now, how do we solve this particular expression? It's the same way we've been discussing in our previous lessons. This one involves a bracket. So what do? We expand the brackets. We are going to have 2 multiplied by 10 and 2 multiplied by minus X. That is what's going to expand the bracket. So let's try doing that. So 2 multiplied by 10 plus 2 multiplied by minus X equals 4. So let's continue. 2 multiplied by 10, and the answer is going to give us, yes, that's 20. And then the next expression, 2 multiplied by minus x, and the answer is going to be 2x plus 2x. No, the answer is going to be minus 2x, because you can see a negative sign in front of x. So our answer is going to be minus 2x. Let's be mindful of that, students. So minus 2x equals 4. Now, what do we do? You remember, we are going to group like terms. So 20 and 4 are of the same format. So we'll move 20 to the right hand side, and then we'll keep minus 2x at the left hand side. So minus 2x equals 4 minus 20. Remember, when a number moves to the other side, it becomes, and it's positive, it becomes negative. So that is what we have. Now the next step is to add or subtract the like terms. We know for minus 2x, we don't have any other term there, so it will remain like that. Then the other side, we are going to subtract. So we're going to have 4 minus 20. And the answer is going to be, yes, minus 16. So we have 2x minus 2x equals minus 16. Now, the last step will be to divide both sides of the equation by the coefficient of x, which is minus 2. So let's do that. So minus 2x divided by minus 2 minus 16 divided by minus 2. Since we have minus on the denominator and then minus on the numerator, they are going to cancel out on both sides. Then you remember, when minus 2 is dividing minus 2, and the answer is going to be, you remember, minus, yes, as we said, is on the numerator and in the denominator, so they cancel out. So 2 divided by 2, and the answer we are going to have is x. And the other side, you remember again that we have minus minus on the numerator and the denominator, they are going to cancel out, and we are going to have 16 divided by 2. So 2 or 16 divided by 2, and 2 divided itself 1, and 16 divided by 2, and the answer will be, yes, 8. So we are going to have x equals 8. So now we've been able to get our answer, which is x equals 8. So you remember the question was talking about a certain number. So that number is now 8. So we are going to write our final answer to be, the number is 8. So students, you've seen that we've been able to get a full mathematical expression from a word problem and get our answer. So in this lesson, we studied about how to work on word problems. And then we got to know that the first step, the most important step, is to extract mathematical expressions from the word problem. So we get an expression which is representing a linear equation. Then we are going to follow the steps that we studied in our previous lessons. We group like terms, we add and subtract the like terms, then we divide both sides of the equation by the coefficient of x. So when we are able to follow all these steps, we'll be able to solve linear equations involving word problems. I am so happy that you've been able to participate in this particular lesson. I earnestly wish that we'll meet again in our next class. Bye for now, students. Thank you for following today's class. Bye.